Let's do this.
Welcome back, family. Hey, we're here for the Cover Price Top 20 because they're doing it again. I'm going to continue going through all 20 books, and it's Eclipse Day. And if I look a little bit different, it's because literally 90 seconds ago, I blew a bulb above my head on Eclipse Day. Poof, went out. So I quickly turned on a lamp on the other side of the room, but light's a little bit off. Sorry, I just did not have time in 90 seconds to figure out where the heck Mrs. Ohana has placed the bulbs and then climb up there and change them. So, ah, we got an interesting list, and I was going to say it right off the bat. Ultimate Spider-Man is not on this list, even in the top 20. Wow. Yeah, it's a very ultimate-less list. There's one that's on, but it's odd. So, we've got Stinker Buns checking in. I know he is on a trip right now. I believe he is in St. Louis, where he was able to get full view of the eclipse. Congratulations on that. I didn't even go outside. It's like, whatever. It's like, yeah, it's 83%, which means it's 17% sunlight. Who cares? I got work to do. Tiago is representing us from Brazil, and where they did not have an eclipse today. He had full sunlight. All right, so let's get into this list. We've got, like I said, 20 books we're going to be taking a look at. And then I will give my gun to the head pick and my rubber band to the butt. So let's jump right into this, shall we? Coming in at number 20, we have a lot of X-Men books because of the X-Men 97 series. X-Men issue number 282, first cover and cameo appearance of Bishop. Everybody just calls this the first appearance of Bishop. Good evening, Mr. Monroe, and how are you today? There it is. So we've got $171 is the most common, 9.8. It hit a high in 2021 of 515, and I see that sale from the other day, 173, but a 9.6 sold for 65. That's quite a big drop off from a 9.8 to a 9.6. You see, near mint raws, one just sold yesterday for $7. Okay. $14 for 9.6 to 10 near mints. But I see a $17 sale for a very fine. The numbers are all over the place. Just there's a lot of copies. Be a frugal shopper on this one. You can find yourself some good deals if you try to. I'd be shooting for a 9.6. If you really want a 9.8, I'd hold off until a couple months after the series ends before they get any kind of a trailer for season 2. But you know, this will have a little bit of a drop off after the season of X-Men 97 ends. Number 19, we've got a blue chipper here. And it's interesting that this is the one out of the 3 books that is jumped onto the list. Number 48, of course, everybody knows. It's the Watcher Toga Party. But issue number 49 is the first full appearance of Galactus, the second appearance of Silver Surfer, and the first Silver Surfer and Galactus cover. So we've got a 9.8 actually sold to this for $192,000. I'm hoping there's only one. The 9.6 just sold a couple of days ago for $20,000. Wow. Honestly, if I had 20 grand to blow on a comic book, I don't know if I'd be going for a 9.6 of this as opposed to, well, maybe the person already has a high grade number 48. You know, bottom line is if I had 20 grand to spend on the comic, I would be an AF-15 in the low grade. A 9.2 just sold for $9,200. And I look at its sales from April. We have a 6.5 that just sold for $1,000, $900 for a 6.0, 3.5. Well, that was back in 4.0 just sold for $650. Wow. All this is because all the news that's the breaking news right now for the Fantastic Four with casting for Galactus, Silver Surfer, female Silver Surfer. It may be that what I was afraid of as far as them gender swapping a Silver Surfer is not going to happen, and I'm really hoping that is the case. Because there's no reason to. There's just no I have no problem with a female playing a role. But if the role has been male since 1966, why swap it? There's just no point to it. Anyway, this is a book that you want to have this in your collection. You want to have all three, 48, 49, and 50. But right this second is probably not the best time to get this. Raws. Um, Now there is a raw on here that's I saw. Oh no, I'm thinking of a different book that's on the list. Sorry, Larry. What's up, buddy? Yeah, they're going to ruin Silver Surfer. From what it seems like, Larry, I'm just going to jump back up here full size. From what I'm hearing, is they are not gender swapping Norrin Red. They are bringing in the female Silver Surfer, which actually existed in the comics, which was his love interest. So that still leaves room for leaving Norrin Red as a Silver Surfer as a male. So I really wish if they wanted to bring a female Herald in that they brought in Frankie Ray. That would have made more sense, especially with the Fantastic Four, my opinion. But we might be jumping the gun as far as whether or not they are destroying the Fantastic Four. Okay, let me get back over here. Wait on this one until some of this news dies down. Okay, Larry, I'm glad you're here. Guess what else is on the list? Doesn't matter. There's no reason to introduce her first. Agreed. Absolutely agree on that. Unless they're changing the story a little bit, that he is, maybe they kill her off and that motivates him. I don't know. There is no reason to introduce her first. There isn't. So let's hope that she's not introduced first. Let's hope that she's introduced at the end of the movie. What we know is that she's cast. We don't know in what capacity she's going to be used. Dazzler, number one, still on the list, but still trending downwards. 190 now for 9.8. This is the direct sale because there was no newsstand of this. This was the first book to not have a newsstand. 9.6 is at 82 and a 9.4 at 91. See, if it were me, I'd rather save the $9 and get a higher grade. But what do I know? We're so close to the movie right now. Hey, look who's here. What's up, buddy? Somebody about Perez. Cody finished his story. And yes. Well, somebody had to say his name. I didn't want to say it because, how you doing, buddy? Give us a thumbs up. Let us know you're doing good. So anyway, we're so close to the movie coming out that this book, I think people are going to start selling real quick. And I'm not saying we're not going to get Dazzler, but we're not going to get Taylor Swift Dazzler. That's just my opinion. And I think this book is going to, this and the X-Men first appearance of Dazzler is going to tank. Number 16, 20, 19, 18, 17, sorry, 17. We've got Wolverine issue number 8. And the only thing I could think of on this is because you've got such a prominent cover of Patch on the cover. It's not the first appearance of Patch. It's not the first appearance of anything. Big thumbs up. Awesome. It is an iconic cover. It is, and we know we're going to be getting some form of Patch in the Deadpool movie. As a result, now this is just now something that's hyped because of the Deadpool movie. This book has always had good, some kind of value. $380 for 9.8, a little bit above FMV, but by the same token, a 9.6 went below FMV at 141. So, and one day after a 9.4 sold for $1 less. Gotta love it. I'm waiting for the drop so I can add Dazzler back to my collection. I agree. And I may do that as well. I still have that 8.0 X-Men 130 that I picked up just so I can say I have one, just so I can make Larry feel good. But it's not really worth that much. It's really dropped in value, and I don't think it's going to take off. But it's just something I have in my collection. This is a book you want to have in your collection, but just wait till, again, the Deadpool movie comes and goes. Number 16. Okay, you're not going to believe this one. Batman: The Killing Joke, first printing. Bear in mind, I think there's 14 printings of this. Yeah, 14 printings of this. Look at all the prints on this. And why did this hit the list? Because a couple of days ago, a 10.0 sold for $28,800. A 9.9 sold earlier this year for 1,100. A 9.8 sold a couple of days ago for 225. So 10.0. 10.0. The way that they're grading at CGC, I would not want to put any kind of money in in premium grades right now. I mean, 9.8 is 9.8, but we're going to be seeing a lot of books all of a sudden appearing at 9.9s and 10s that we never saw in those books before. Look at that 9.9 that just got graded on the giant size X-Men #1, and the dang thing has a big color breaking spine tick in it. You know, a year ago, that book would have gotten a 9.2. Now all of a sudden it's a 9.9. I don't know what they're doing over there, and if they don't straighten themselves out, they're going to ruin a lot of the value of slab books. So, if you want a copy of The Killing Joke, wait for this little hype to drop. Right now, everybody's talking about it, so it reminded people, "Hey, I want to go." Oh, yeah, I always wanted to get one. So now people are paying a premium for it. Just wait a little bit; it'll drop back down to like 190, 200 for a 9.8. I don't know what the other ones are going to get. Next on the list, we've got X-Men 266. And as it says on CovrPrice, the second appearance of Gambit and his first cover appearance. It's another one of those books that people argue about. So this is all because of, again, the character being prominent in um guys are talking to each other. I just want to make sure I could catch them. Uh these are characters that are prominent in the X-Men 97 series. People are like, oh yeah, I always they're watching and like, I never got a chance to get my first appearance or second appearance of Gambit, or my first appearance of Rogue, or my first Jubilee, or my first Goblin Queen, or blah 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 blah. It's a 10 is still a 10. Getting a 10 will still be a big deal. No, I'm not saying that it's not a big deal. What I'm saying is, in a year from now, are there going to be 12 of them? There's never been one before. Is there going to be 12 10.0s? At which point will people be really caring about spending $28,000 on one? That's what I'm saying is I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more of these, and it's going to decrease the rarity of it. Anyway, $685, which is a little bit above FMB for a 9.8, 9.6 at 275. This one does have a Mark Jewelers. It has a newsstand variant, but again, this is all because of hype that's going on for X-Men 97. So it will have a little bit of a lull after the series ends. And if more and more people are considering the what was it, the X-Men annual, the Mutants annual, X-Men annual, as the first appearance of Gambit, I'm wondering if someday we'll get a switch in the like 180 Hulk 180 181 mentality. Canadian Survivors joining the group. What's up, buddy? Okay, so let's see. Next on the list, Spawn #1. Okay, this is, I think there was some more, a tweet or a post that said, "Hey, we really, really are making the movie. It is going to happen at some point." Kenneth, welcome. How's it going, buddy? Um, this has been talked about for the last 10 years. Not going to happen. Annual is terrible. I agree. I agree. Annual, they had a lot of bad covers during that time period, didn't they? um, but Spawn #1, we've got value right now. The 9.8s is going for 130. If you're frugal, you could probably catch one a little bit less. I don't know if this is going to drop back down under 100 because of inflation. I think we're at the point where 120 to 130 might be its bottom now. Man, this list is pretty much the same since I left. No kidding. Old faithful, absolutely. If you're a good shopper, you might be able to catch one a little bit less. Find one at a show. See if you can find one on like Craigslist or something like that. I would avoid eBay because they're going to ask for the top dollar on that because they have to pay 14% to eBay. You might be able to get a better deal on websites where they don't have to pay the percentage. Okay, so 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13 on. Speaking of Jubilee, we have her first appearance here in X-Men number 244. 9.8s are now hitting $200, or up a little bit. And a 9.6 is at 71, also going up a little bit, which is good because if you're following the channel, you know that that is going to be our 1,250 subscriber giveaway when we break that wonderful milestone. We're going to be giving away a 9.6 X-Men 244 first appearance of Jubilee. And when we do break it, I'll we're going to be, whenever we break the 1250, the following hot list here on Monday during the live stream, we're going to be announcing the winner. And you don't have to be present to win, but one of the live streamers will get a nice X-Men Adventures number 1 in a 9.6 white page. So I want to make sure that I am rewarding the people not only that are subscribing to the channel, but the ones that jump in on the live streams with us. So we're going to be giving away 2 books as soon as we hit that. The last 3 books on this list have 9.9 or 10. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is they're becoming? It's not as rare as it was. Well, Larry, you got to win, and Greg, you got to enter to win. So. So yeah, well, actually, this one doesn't have a 9.9 yet. There'll be 2 by next week. Jubilee seems to be getting a lot of attention. She actually just kissed a boy. She kissed Roberto from the New Mutant Sunspot. It was her 18th birthday, so she's allowed now. Meatwad, how's it going? Welcome to the show. This is not a bad book to get. I would grab a 9.6. If you really want a 9.8, wait till the show ends. 9.6 ain't going to drop much more than this. It's too close, too big a difference between 9.6 and 9.8 on the price. If anything, I think it'll go up a little bit. What did I say? 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. 12 is, this is a book we haven't seen before, and you guys can't see it because I forgot to share the screen. Sorry. DNA agents, not DNA agents, DNA agents from Eclipse Comics in 1985. And thanks to JP's Budget Collecting, because I watched his show yesterday when he covered Comic Tom's list, and this was on that. It's basically option news. I loved the first 3 episodes. I wasn't crazy about the 4th. Syncabons is digging it, and so was Greg. So DNA agents, though, we've got no recent sales of a 9.8, but the last sale was in December for $495. 9.6 just sold for $295. This is about the price that it usually is. It's an Eclipse comic. It's from 1985. It's not an easy one to find, especially in high grades. I don't see any variants, so you've only got one. I think it's just straight up direct sale. And we got raw copies. The most recent one was a very fine, going for $100. But a couple days before that, a near mint sold for $91. So if you're paying attention to the market, you might you would love a 9.9 of this book, whether it's this one or the Jubilee. Either one, it works. Robert, let me know. Send me a message or whatever. I never read this. Do you think it'll translate well to a show or a movie? And I can see that. You can see what I don't know. I like X-Men 97, but feeling sorry for Gibby. Yeah, no kidding, man. Dude's been there nonstop for her. And she's just like, but I can touch him. So anyway, I don't want to go too much more into it. I'll demonetize this. This is a book that's, like I said, always seems to have some value, and now it's getting some attention. This might actually be on its way up, and it's just kind of hard to find copies of it. If you have copies, I think you should hold on to it at least another couple of weeks. This may go up in value more. We're hitting number 11 here. Geiger number one. Now, I think that the reason that this is popping up on the list is because they just redid another Geiger series. And that was a new comic book day last week. So we got to find out if the new story is any good or not. This book used to be so much higher. 9.8 used to be 115. Now a 9.8 is 50. And that was just a couple days ago. $50 for a 9.8. So is it really, it must be just quantity of sales, because even still the current trend is down 10.5%. So don't go hunting for this book. I think it's just a lot of people have put their Geiger books at the front of the store because they know there's a new Geiger story, and they're quickly trying to see if they can sell the older copies. And it might be just quantity of sales that is bringing this up. So we have made it through the first 10, the honorable mentions, so 11 through 20. And before we hit the hot 10 themselves, I would like to take this moment to say thank you so much for all the Patreon and YouTube members. You are the lifeblood of this channel and the reason that I make sure that I keep doing this all the time. And we're having a lot of fun doing it. So thank you so much. This is for you. And I forgot to update the one on here to show Tiago on the list. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Saturday, I made 6 videos. And yeah, exactly. Plus Tiago. Yes, yes, yes. Ugh. I have it made. You've seen it on the other videos. I just forgot to upload it onto this one. I'm sorry. Anyway. um, Thank you so much. I appreciate you forgiving me. And yeah, I listened to like 30 different, 40 different songs that they had on YouTube free stuff till I found the one I'm like, that one just kind of works, especially if I take this section of the song. So how well DNA is translated to TV, but it's a long time since I've read it. Well, hey, it's been a long time since Greg and I read Wolverine, and we did that for Back Issue Book Club, and nope, nope, nope. Anyway, all right, jumping in at number 10, we have another version of Geiger number one. This was the Brian Hitch variant. It says 80-page giant, but this was the first internal and cover appearance of Redcoat. And I think that Redcoat is a character in the new Geiger series. So people are like, oh, wow, Redcoat is back. I don't even know who Redcoat is. So if people really weren't that interested in him before, I mean, Raw's $50, but the last sale of a 9.8 was 45 back in 2022. So I think after this Geiger run, which I believe it's a limited series, I don't think it's a full run. Once this goes the way of the wind, I think this is going to return back to its cover price at 45, $50 for a 9.8. If you have a 9.8, this would probably be a good time to sell it because you could probably get about $200 for it. Coming in number 9, here's the only Ultimate book on the list. Ultimate Black Panther, number 1. Down a little bit more. We've got 9.8s coming in at $79, 9.6 at 40. And what's funny is I'm still seeing the raw sales, Near Mint's raw sales for $40. Now, call me crazy, but before I spend $40 on a raw, and hope I get a 9.8 and pay for grading, I'd rather just go buy a 9.6 for 40 bucks. It's this, or maybe even just chip in a little bit more money and buy the 9.8. I don't see these raws sustaining these prices if the slab books are this low. So I just think that this will continue to come down in price. I think we're not at the bottom of it yet. I saw a comment there. What do we got? Wait, Redcoat one just came out. He's also in Ghost Machine. Oh, that's right. That's right. I apologize. Yes, you guys are right. And I am sorry. I never read the Geiger verse. So uh, uh, there's too many verses. So thank you for filling me in. See, this is another reason why it's great to have you guys here, because you're not only informing everybody else that's in the chat and people that watch on the replay. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Coming in number 8. All right, we've got supervillain team up number 5, first appearance of the Shroud. And what the heck, really? Up 44%. We've got a 9.8 sold in March for 675, but we got raws that are selling for 92. 92 for a supervillain team up? No. Junkyard Joe is in the Geigerverse, and it's pretty good. Honestly, I'm not familiar with Junkyard Joe. I'm not familiar with the Shroud. So that's not Thunder. That's Mrs. Ohana closing the garage, so which is directly beneath me. I don't know if the Shroud is going to be in a movie, a TV show, a comic book run, a video game. I don't know. All I know is I don't care. I don't see supervillain team ups from 1976 being worth, a first appearance of the Shroud. Comic Vets, hey, what's up? How's it going? Things north of the border, buddy. Apparently, the Shroud is the new Moon Knight. Slap the like. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Every time they change a character like Moon Knight or Punisher, I think eventually they come back to the original character. Like, we have a new Punisher now. I think in a year you're going to be seeing Frank Castle donning the costume back on again. So if you're a big Moon Knight fan, honestly, I can't fault somebody who spent 675 on a 9.8. I can't fault them that. This is a 1976 obscure Marvel book. And I don't know the census, but there can't be a lot of these. So, I mean, we're looking at a book that is coming up on 50 years old. And if you have a 9.8 white page of it with the first appearance of a character, 675 might not be such a bad idea. 95 for a 9.6, I might be interested in that. But I think right now, if you might not be able to find that. That was back in March. Most recent sale that I can see is April 2nd. We got 84 for an 8.5, which means a 9.6 is going to be a lot higher. I don't know. I'd wait to see if the Shroud is accepted and liked as Moon Knight, and does he stay that way? Supposedly, Mark Spector was killed off. That's how he got to be Moon Knight. He died, right? It's a very obscure book. Yes, it is. If you weren't around back then, you probably never even heard of it. And it was also only newsstand back at that time. So to find a 9.8 is really tough. Just in comic books, is anybody ever really dead? So I might keep an eye out for one, but I think right now it's on everybody's hot list. You're not going to find it. You can get yourself a mid grade or like something around a 7 to an 8 in a raw. Sales are going for $30. That might not be too bad. Okay, so that was number 1098. Number 7, we've got another Geiger book. This is the one from 2022. This is issue number 1. I believe this was a cover A because it says regular. I'm hoping that just means it was a cover A. Um, and this is the first appearance of Redcoat, who, thanks to everybody here, has let me know that uh, he's getting his own series. So we've got back in February, we got a $44 9.8, but the most recent sales of Raws are 20 to 35. This is going to shoot up and then come shooting back down again. And I saw something move there. And in the 70s, we actually read our comics while eating potato chips. Unless we were reading Vampirella, at which point we did something else. Anyway, I think Geiger is hot right now, and I think in a couple of months it'll be. I mean, just like it was hot when it first came out, and then it died down. I think it's going to die down again. I don't see any long term uh, investability in this. Number 6. This is the one that I was looking at before. Okay. Silver Surfer number 1, 1968. First origin of Silver Surfer and his first book ongoing series. You know what I meant. Anyway, we've got earlier this year a 9.8 sold for $132,000. I can see that. I can see that. 9.6, no sale in the last 6 months. A 9.2 sold for 5,500 just a couple of days ago. 9.0 just sold a couple of days ago for 3,700. Now, what I was saying that I saw something. If you are frugal, again, you can find those really good raws. And there's a raw that just sold the other day, and I know this is true because I had this on my watch list, and then I got tied up doing something, and I missed the end of the auction. It says verified 7.0 to 8.5. Fair market value 612. It just sold 2 days ago for $341. I was on that was on eBay. Yeah, I saw that and I really wanted to bid on it, and then I got distracted, and next thing I know, I missed the end of the auction. I don't drive up prices if I don't have to. So again, you can find those things in the rough. My mother took away a copy of Vampirella, so I had to hide them. I think you'd be more worried if your dad took the copy of Vampirella, you know? This is a book you definitely would love to have in your collection. I don't have one, but lower grade books, again, you can find a low grade book that presents well. You got 1.5s at 240, 2.0, 275. I see a 4.0 just sold for 385. Fair market value is 377. So you can get a book that really does look nice, and that is a great, great cover. It's blow it up there. For decent, decent price. And I'm not saying anything about everybody's budget. Some people might have more than others. For me, $400 is that, like, right now where I'm willing to stop and say, I'm not worried about buying a book. It's when I hit the books that are 7, 8, 1,000 or something like that. That's when I really got to do the math, going out, making sure I can pay my bills. So this is a good book, and I absolutely be willing to buy one, especially since right now people are a little bit ticked off about what's going on with the Silver Surfer. They think that we're not getting Norrin Rad. You might be able to pick one up for somebody that's just trying to dump it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth on the list. What the heck? This is one of two. What the heck's in the top 5? Issue number 37 of What If? What if the Beast and the Thing continued to mutate? First appearance of Shalabal as Herald of Galactus. This is who the female person was cast for in the Fantastic Four that's blowing everybody up. All right, so we got 9.6 selling for $98 a couple of days ago, which means that the 9.8 is definitely going to be more than 104 if it comes to market. It's probably going to be hitting more like 250. Raws are selling for $7 to $15, and I'm looking at ones that are rated from a nine to near mint to mint plus. $7 to $15 for the raws. This book is going nowhere. I'm sorry. This You can go get a good copy of the first appearance of Gamora, the first appearance of Nebula, characters we actually like, that we actually care about, that never took off in value. What makes you think Shalabal is going to be going anywhere, and people are not looking forward to her? Please, guys, don't spend money on this book. If you got $250 to spend on a 9.8, um, just hold off. Look at this. In March 2023, 9.8 sold for 226. Later that same year, it sold for 104. So right now it's in the hype. What's it going to be when it's not in the hype? Back to 104. This is not a good investment. It's not the worst investment on this list. That's still coming. Coming up at number 4, we've got a book that doesn't have any key, like no first appearance, no anything, but it's a great cover. It's basically what Gambit is dreaming about right now, but not what he's getting. But this is a beautiful cover. It is. Um, it's just that it's a little bit expensive um, for what's going on right now. We've got February 22nd. We had a 9.8 hit 187. Most recent sale that I see is Raws are going for 20, 25 for real high grade copies. That's actually not bad. That's not bad. Me personally, I would like to have this book and try to find the people that do the voice acting for Rogue and for Gambit for the TV show and have them sign this. That would be a good book, in my opinion. I defer, the final judgment to go to Bitperler because he is a master of finding exactly the right book to get signed. If you can get yourself a beautiful copy for around $20 and have them sign this, I think that would be really great. If they announce some kind of a signing, expect this book to go up. So there's a couple of books on this list that I would not mind getting for my gun to the head. Coming in at number 3, we have X-Men 239, the first cover and second appearance overall of Mr. Sinister, the first cover appearance of Madeline Pryor as the Goblin Queen. Now, if you've been watching X-Men 97, which based on the comments, most of you have, we did get the Goblin Queen, but at the end of the episode, Madeline Pryor went, okay, well, take care. I'm going to go live my own life. She going to be back? We don't know, but she's already hit 9.8 sold the other day for 190 and 9.6 sold for 70. High grade raws, real high grade raws, high grade raws going for 52. 190 is not terrible. I mean, we are talking about 1988, so 36 years ago. Doesn't seem like 36 years ago, but it is. It's the second appearance of Mr. Sinister and his first cover. So that alone, since Mr. Sinister, I think, is going to be a big factor going forward, is not a bad thing. So, but again, this 1988, they were printing them like crazy. X-Men were really purchased by a lot of people and kept in high grade. I'd still wait for the show to end and then look for a real good copy of this if you wanted it. Coming in number 2, Evangeline, number 1 from Maximum Press from May 1st, 1995. Does anybody know anything about this book? Other than the fact that it's really bad art. If I'm not mistaken, that's Liefeld. So, now I do know, thanks again to JP's Budget Collecting, this is a book that is being optioned by a production company run by Margot Robbie, and it is slated to be made into a movie and directed by, oh God, what's her name? The one that played 13 on House. She was supposed to do one of the Spider movies as well. I can't think of her name. Somebody help me out with that. Um, 9.8 just sold for $80 on the 5th. 9.6 sold 2 days later for 75. If you can find a 9.8 for 80, Olivia Wilde. Oh wow, everybody jumping on this. Olivia Wilde, Olivia Wilde, yes. So I'm bad with names, but you guys aren't. I can picture her in my head, thinking about the same idea as Vampirella. Anyway, if you can find a 9.8 for 80, or even, I think it's going to be up a little bit. Uh, I'd be willing to go a 9.8 up to 120, 130 on this right now. Just for the fact that it's 1995 in Maximum Press, which is a very, I never heard of Maximum Press, and I don't know how many books they printed 1995, but it might be pretty hard to find. There is an ash can. It's interesting. And a photo cover. That's a lot of different covers for 1995, honestly. So, real high grade raws selling for, say, up to $30. I don't know what the back cover looks like, but that's a lot of dark. If there's anything light on the back cover of this book, you got to watch out for color rub too. But this might be a decent book to look into before it shoots ridiculously high. If it is already starting to get high because it's on two different hot lists, then if this has been optioned, they still got to do screenwriting, they got to do casting, they got to do film. You're looking at 2-3 years away. So, okay, I honestly I never heard of it. So you're ahead of me. So 95, I wasn't collecting comic books, so that was just a time in my life where it didn't happen. And coming in at number one on this list is probably, I'm just going to say it right off the bat. This is my rubber band to the butt pick. Okay, I'm not even going to hide on this one. First cover appearance and one-page cameo appearance of Shala Bal as the Silver Surfer. So again, it's not her first appearance. It's the first appearance as the Silver Surfer. From 2000, Earth X issue number 12. We got people paying $60 for a Raw. $60 for a Raw? Now, take a quick look at this. The last sale of a 9.8 was August of last year. A 9.8 sold for 41. That's how much interest is in this book when it's not in the news. So that is how much interest is going to be in this book after this character is no longer something that we care about. Come on, the High Evolutionary is a true character, and look how his books tanked after the movie. Do you think that this character is going to be making enough of an impact that we're going to be having $60 Raw, which will probably translate to like a $300 9.8? Heck no. It's really good cover art. I'll give it that. I like that. But not for those prices. Not $60 for a Raw. So that is my feelings on the number one. So you already know my rubber band to the butt pick. What I've got to do though is pick which book I would buy as a gun to the head. And Greg, if you're still here, put it in the chat which one you would take. So I'd love to, it's been a while since we both had. There's a couple of choices here that I do like. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah, I think I'm going with that one. I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, I'm thinking. I'm thinking I would shoot for either a decent grade raw, try to not miss another auction, or something around the 4.0 mark. And I would be going for the Silver Surfer. Even if it is a little bit high because of it's in the news, this is a book that even after it goes down a little bit, will always go up in value. Raw X-Men 239, Rubberman What If Beast thing. You're right there with the Shala Ball and the Raw X-Men 239. I can't go against that, man. I can't. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I missed it by one click. Yeah, because it is the first cover and second appearance of Mr. Sinister. Even if we don't have Madeline Pryor and Goblin Queen, just that alone makes it worthwhile. I can't dispute that either one of your choices. But me personally, I would be looking at making a PayPal paying um for $100 every 2 weeks and grab myself whatever the best $400 Silver Surfer I could get my hands on. Ah, yeah, that would be my choice. And you already know my rubber band to the butt is the first appearance of Shalabal as the Silver Surfer, the number one is hot. Now again, this is not CovrPrice saying these are the best books. They're just reporting what we're doing. So the fact that number one is, as JP would say, a dumpster fire, just so shows how bad we are as collectors. Not this particular group, but collectors in general. This group, we know what we're doing because we discuss. All right, guys. I want to wrap this up and I want to play the wrong end title, the one that doesn't show Tiago again. But let me remind you guys, please, if you have any friends that have not subscribed to the channel, get them on board. We're almost at 1250, which means we're going to be giving away these books. I'm hoping that next Monday we'll be able to do it. Make sure that you click like and subscribe. Click on notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. I got one that's switching over from members to because the members, YouTube members get premiere access, and you guys see the videos a couple of days later, unless it's the live stream. If you'd like to help join the channel and support us in any way, help cover the cost of shipping for all the books that we send out, it is either here YouTube. You can join it up as members and become a coconut, or you can even go to Patreon/Team So I am going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you again. And until I see you in the next video, though, which will be Wednesday, live, new comic book day, giving away books. Plus, there'll be a couple of videos that I've already recorded. Mahalo.